Jai Gurudev, yes, healing is a central theme in Cutting for Stone, both in medicine and in emotional wounds. How does Art of Living expand this understanding of healing? Jai Gurudev, yes, thank you for joining us today. Healing in Cutting for Stone goes beyond just surgeries and medicines. The characters, particularly Marian and Shiva, must heal from their inner traumas, abandonment, betrayal, and loss. Similarly, Gurudev often speaks about holistic healing, which includes physical healing. This can be done through Ayurveda, yoga, and Sudarshan Kriya. Emotional healing through meditation and wisdom, and spiritual healing through selfless service and devotion. Just as Marian finds solace in his work, people who attend Art of Living courses find emotional release through Sudarshan Kriya and meditation. Many have reported relief from deep seated grief, which, much like the way Marian copes with his past through his work, the power of breath, Sudarshan Kriya, and emotional resilience. Throughout the novel, we see moments where breath and control over it become crucial, whether during surgery or moments of extreme tension. How does Sudarshan Kriya relate to this? In medicine, a breath is a lifeline. It's what sustains the patient during surgery. Similarly, in yogic science, breath is a prana shakti, the force of life itself. Sudarshan Kriya, a rhythmic breathing technique taught in the art of living, removes deep-seated and rooted stress. Just like a skilled surgeon controls breath during delicate procedures, practicing Sudarshan Kriya helps maintain clarity and calmness in intense situations. Many doctors who practice Sudarshan Kriya have shared how it enhances their focus and resilience in high stress environments, something we also see in Marian's approach to surgery. Seva or selfless service as the greatest fulfillment. One of the most touching aspects of the novel is how medicine is treated as seva, as service to humanity. How does this reflect Gurudev's teachings on selfless service? Gurudev says when you see your work as seva, it stops being a burden and becomes a blessing. This is exactly what we see in Cutting for Stone. Dr. Thomas Stone initially struggles with loss and guilt, just as many people feel burdened by personal struggles. But Marian and Ghosh find meaning in service, just as many Art of Living volunteers experience immense joy in helping others. A direct parallel can be seen in the Art of Living's global seva initiatives, where doctors provide Ayurvedic healing camps and volunteers conduct trauma relief programs in war-torn areas, just as Marian serves in Ethiopia. Guru Shishya Parampara, the role of mentorship. The novel places great emphasis on mentorship, how wisdom is passed on from one doctor to another. How does this align with the Guru Shishya tradition in Art of Living? Yes, in Vedic culture, knowledge is never self taught, it is always received from a guru. Much like medical knowledge is passed from experienced surgeons to students, Ghosh becomes Marian's guru, teaching him not only medicine but also how to handle life's challenges. Similarly, in Art of Living, Gurudev's guidance helps millions navigate their personal struggles. Even in Upanayana, the sacred thread ceremony, the student is reminded that their knowledge should come from a guru's direct transmission. This is why in Art of Living, seekers always stay connected to wisdom from Gurudev, just as doctors rely on their mentors for guidance. Acceptance and karma, letting go of the past. Marian's journey is filled with betrayal, heartbreak, and eventual forgiveness. How does this align with karma and acceptance as taught in Art of Living? Gurudev often reminds us that holding on to the past is like carrying a corpse. It weighs us down. Marian's greatest struggle is accepting the truth about his father and moving on. Similarly, in Art of Living, people come in carrying baggage from the past, but through meditation and wisdom, they learn to drop it. In one of Art of Living course, a participant who had not spoken to his brother for 25 years finally let go of his anger and reunited with his family. Similarly, Marian eventually finds peace through forgiveness. The role of devotion, bhakti, as a path to strength. Religion and devotion play a subtle but profound role in the novel. How does bhakti or devotion bring inner strength in Art of Living? In Cutting for Stone, we see different forms of faith: Christianity, Ethiopian traditions, and personal devotion. In Vedic wisdom, bhakti or devotion is a powerful path to inner strength. Bhakti brings inner stability in times of crisis, just as prayer sustains many doctors and caregivers. In Art of Living, satsang or group chanting and devotion uplifts the mind, much like how faith keeps Marian going in difficult times. Many people who chant the Hanuman Chalisa or Vishnu Sahasranama experience an unshakable strength, much like the resilience shown by the characters in the novel. Then we talk about the death, impermanence, and the ultimate truth. The novel does not shy away from death and impermanence. How does Art of Living help people face these realities? Death is often the greatest fear, yet Gurudev teaches that life is a play of consciousness. Just as doctors in Cutting for Stone face death regularly, in Art of Living, people are taught to embrace impermanence through meditation. Sadhana or spiritual practices prepare the mind for the inevitable. In the Vedic tradition, rituals like Kriya and Mahamrityunjaya mantra help departed souls move to higher planes. A beautiful example is the Yoga Vasishtha, where Sage Vasishtha tells Lord Rama that all of life is a dream, a teaching that allows one to live fearlessly. And the final takeaway is merging silence and spirituality. If we take one final lesson from Cutting for Stone and Art of Living, what would it be? That science and spirituality are not separate, they are two sides of the same reality. Medicine heals the body, but spirituality heals the mind and soul. Science gives knowledge, but meditation brings wisdom. Just as a doctor learns precision and skill, a seeker learns awareness and inner stability. This is why Gurudev often tells doctors and medical professionals, be a healer, not just a doctor. But a beautiful perspective. What a beautiful perspective. It's incredible to see how the wisdom of Gurudev, Ayurveda, yoga, and seva all align with the novel's deeper themes. Thank you for this enlightening discussion, Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, now we come to the deeper parallels between Cutting for Stone and the wisdom of Art of Living. We have explored how the novel's themes align with Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji's wisdom and Art of Living practices like Seva, Sudarshan Kriya, and the Guru Shishya tradition. Let's now expand on other profound aspects such as Trikal Sandhya, Agni Karyam, Upanayanam, Gayatri Japa, Sandhya Vandanam, Padma Sadhana, Shakti Kriya, Sanyam Sadhana, Pujas, and Homas. Trikal Sandhya, reflection at three junctures of the day. The novel frequently shows characters pausing to reflect, whether before a surgery, at the death of a patient, or at life's turning points. How does this relate to the practice of Trikal Sandhya? Jagurudev, yes, Trikal Sandhya is a practice of mindfulness and gratitude at three crucial times of the day: morning or Brahma Muhurta, a time of setting intentions and invoking divine energy; midday, a moment to pause, reflect, and realign with purpose; and evening, a practice of gratitude and surrender. In Cutting for Stone, we see how Marion reflects on life's challenges at different stages: his time as a student, a surgeon, and later as someone reconnecting with his roots. This mirrors Trikal Sandhya, which allows a person to check in with themselves daily. Art of Living practitioners begin their day with sadhana, pause for breath awareness during work, and end the day with meditation or satsang, just as doctors perform rounds at fixed times to monitor patients. Trikal Sandhya is around for self awareness. Agni Karyam, fire is a source of purification. Fire is a recurring symbol in Cutting for Stone, whether in the passion of the doctors, the cleansing power of surgery, or moments of transformation. How does Agni Karyam fit into this? Yes, Jai Gurudev, yes, Agni Karyam refers to the daily fire rituals in Vedic tradition where offerings are made into a sacred fire. Fire represents transformation, purification, and divine presence. Just as a surgeon uses fire or to stop bleeding and prevent infection, Agni Karyam removes inner impurities. Just as burning certain substances in a lab eliminates toxins, fire rituals in Ayurveda and Homas purify the environment and mind. The fire of determination that drives Marian and Shiva parallels the fire of tapas or austerity in spiritual seekers. In Art of Living, fire is also central to Guru Puja and Rudra Homa, which cleanses negative karmas. Upanayana and Gayatri Japa, the sacred path of knowledge. In the novel, Marian and Shiva undergo rigorous training before becoming doctors. How does this relate to Upanayana and Gayatri Japa? Yes, Jayagurudev, Upanayana or the sacred thread ceremony marks a student's initiation into higher knowledge. Just as medical students take the Hippocratic oath, brahmacharis take a vow to uphold wisdom and dharma. Gayatri mantra is given to seekers at Upanayana, just as a scalpel is given to a medical student. Repetition of Gayatri Japa sharpens the intellect, just as Marian and Shiva's constant practice refines their skills. The Upanayana reminds the student that knowledge is sacred, just as doctors are reminded that life is precious. Gurudev encourages Gayatri Japa and Sandhya Vandanam for focus, clarity, and protection of energy. Sandhya Vandanam, a ritual for balance and discipline. The doctors in Cutting for Stone maintain strict discipline, following precise routines. How does Sandhya Vandanam cultivate such steadiness in life? Jai Gurudev, yes, Vedic Dharma Sansthan in our organization, Sandhya Vandanam is a Vedic daily practice of chanting mantras, pranayama, and offering arghya or water oblations to the sun. Just as a doctor follows strict hygiene protocols, Sandhya Vandanam maintains inner purity. Just as checking vital signs ensures a patient's stability, this practice stabilizes the practitioner's mind. The discipline of Marian and Ghosh mirrors the commitment of a Sandhya Vandanam practitioner. Art of Living teaches sadhana as a modern Sandhya Vandanam, helping people maintain mental clarity and emotional balance. Padma sadhana and Shakti Kriya rejuvenation for the body and mind. The novel shows how exhaustion impacts doctors, yet they must find ways to recover. How do Padma sadhana and Shakti Kriya help in rejuvenation? Jai Gurudev, yes, Padma sadhana is a set of advanced yoga postures that calm the nervous system, strengthen the body, and prepare the mind for meditation. Just as Marian relies on moments of rest between long surgeries, Padma sadhana restores energy quickly, just as a well trained surgeon develops a fine motor control. Shakti Kriya enhances subtle energy movements in the body. Many doctors practicing Padma sadhana report reduced stress and better focus, much like the discipline Marian builds over time. Sanyam sadhana, the art of mastery and inner control. Marian struggles with controlling his emotions, especially around his father's betrayal. How does Sanyam sadhana cultivate inner mastery? Sanyam means total awareness, balance, and self restraint. It is the essence of all great pursuits, whether in medicine or spirituality. Just as a surgeon must master precision in every cut, Sanyam sadhana cultivates precision in thought and action. Just as Shiva, despite his silence, carries immense depth, Sanyam practitioners develop inner strength through silence and deep meditation. Gurudev often says, mastery over life begins with mastery over the mind. This is exactly what Marian eventually learns. Pujas and homas, honoring the divine in all aspects of life. In Cutting for Stone, we see how culture and rituals shape lives. How do pujas and homas add meaning to daily living? Jayagurudev, pujas and homas create a sacred atmosphere that aligns the mind, body, and surroundings with a positive energy. Just as rituals in a hospital ensure sterility before surgery, pujas and homas purify the environment before spiritual practices. Gurudev teaches that rituals awaken subtle energies, making the mind more receptive to wisdom. Many art of living devotees have shared that performing Rudra Homa and Navagraha Homa brings clarity and harmony in life. Similarly, Marian's deep connection with Ethiopian traditions shows how rituals anchor people in difficult times. The journey from healer to seeker. If you had to summarize the biggest takeaway from Cutting for Stone and its alignment with Gurudev's wisdom, what would it be? Jayagurudev, yes, the greatest healer is not just one who mends the body, but one who uplifts the spirit. Just as Marian's journey moves from science to self discovery, Art of Living brings people from external success to inner fulfillment. That's beautifully said. This conversation has illuminated how profound the connections are. Thank you very much, Jayagurudev. Deeper integration of art of living wisdom with Cutting for Stone. We have beautifully explored how the connections between the novel and the wisdom of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji, particularly through Ayurveda, yoga, mantra chanting, and daily ritual and spiritual practices. Let's now expand on how Seva or Guru disciple dynamics, the healing power of sound, and the role of breath in transformation are reflected in the novel. Seva is a selfless service that heals the server and the served. One of the strongest themes in Cutting for Stone is service, how doctors dedicate their lives to healing others. How does this relate to the art of living principle of Seva? Jagadevya, Seva is the highest expression of love. When you serve, you grow beyond your personal limitations. Marian, despite his struggles, always puts his patients first. Ghosh, even when he is personally suffering, continues to operate and care for others. Hemas's life is dedicated to serving the children and community at Missing Hospital. This reflects Gurudev's wisdom that Seva is not a burden but a privilege. Many Art of Living volunteers have experienced this firsthand, whether providing trauma relief in war zones, organizing medical camps, or teaching stress relief. Yes, or teaching stress relief techniques to prisoners. They often say, I came to serve, but I received so much back in return, more in return. The joy Marion experiences when saving Janet's mother is the same joy a volunteer feels when making a difference in someone's life. The Guru Shishya tradition, the role of the teacher in transmission. The novel beautifully depicts the mentor student relationship between Ghosh and Marion, Thomas Stone and Shiva, and even Hemas's nurturing guidance. How does this parallel the Guru Shishya tradition in the art of living? Jai Gurudev, yes, in the Vedic tradition, knowledge flows through direct experience and deep connection between teacher and student. Ghosh does not just teach Marion surgical techniques, he teaches him patience, resilience, and ethics. Shiva, despite his rebellious nature, learns through silent observation of his surroundings. Hema embodies both discipline and compassion, much like a guru who balances strictness with unconditional love. A guru does not give knowledge like a textbook, he awakens wisdom from within. Many art of living teachers say that Gurudev doesn't just teach meditation, he makes people experience deep inner silence. This is why Gurudev says, the true guru is like a mirror, he reflects your highest potential. The healing power of sound, the role of mantra and music. In the novel, we see how language, music, and communication play crucial roles in healing, whether in medical conversations, storytelling, or cultural practices. How does this relate to the power of sound in Vedic traditions? Jai Gurudev. Yes, sound has an immense impact on the body, mind, and environment. Mantra chanting, such as Gayatri Japa, creates a vibrational healing field. Pujas and homas use specific sound frequencies to remove negative energies. Even in Western medicine, music therapy is used for emotional healing. Shiva communicates through silence but connects deeply through drumming, showing how rhythm influences the nervous systems. Marian's ability to understand multiple languages reflects the power of sound in shaping consciousness. Sudarshan Kriya is based on rhythmic breathing patterns, which are closely linked to the science of sound. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya and singing bhajans and satsangs uplift people instantly, much like how music soothes the patients. Breath as the bridge between body and mind. The novel highlights the importance of breath, whether in surgery, CPR, or emotional distress. How does this connect with Art of Living's breathing techniques? Jagodevia's breath is life. It is the link between body and mind. A doctor's first concern is always is the patient breathing. In stressful moments, characters in the novel take deep breaths to calm themselves. Ghosh teaches Marion in the importance of breathing steadily during surgery, mirroring pranayama practices. Sudarshan Kriya uses specific breathing rhythms to release deep-seated stress. Bhastrika and Nadi Shodhan balance the nervous system and improve clarity. Many surgeons and medical professionals practicing art of living techniques report enhanced focus and reduced fatigue. An art of living doctor once shared, before every critical surgery, I do a few minutes of pranayama. It keeps me sharp and centered. This is why Gurudev emphasizes breath is the secret to mastering the mind. Death and rebirth, understanding the cycle of life. Death is a constant presence in the novel. Patients pass away, loved ones are lost, and yet life continues. How does the Vedic view of life and death align with the novel's themes? Jayagurudev, in Sanatan Dharma, death is not the end, it is a transition. Just as a doctor does everything to save a life but accepts nature's will, spiritual wisdom teaches acceptance of impermanence. The novel's ending, where Marion reconnects with his roots, mirrors a journey of returning to one's true nature. Agni Karyam or Antyeshti or funeral rites and Pitru Tarpanam or ancestor offerings help the soul transition smoothly. The art of living perspective, regular meditation prepares one for the inevitable. Gurudev often says life is a wave on the ocean. It rises, it falls, but it never disappears. Understanding this removes fear and brings deep peace. Now, the ultimate parallel is the final reflection. If you had to distill one profound teaching that connects cutting for stone and Gurudev's wisdom, what would it be? Jagadev, yes, that healing is holistic. It is not just about fixing the body but uplifting the soul. Medicine heals the body, wisdom heals the mind, and seva heals the heart. Spirituality unites all three. In the novel, Marion starts as a surgeon, but his real transformation is internal. He heals himself by embracing love, forgiveness, and his deeper purpose. This is exactly what Gurudev teaches. When you drop stress, embrace wisdom, and serve others, life flows effortlessly. What a beautiful way to conclude. This discussion has unveiled so many profound layers. Thank you very much, Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. We have covered many profound themes linking the novel's medical, spiritual, and philosophical elements with the teachings of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankati. Let's now explore the impact of rituals, meditative practices, self discipline, and devotion and how they shape both personal growth and community healing. Trikal Sandhya, the power of reflection three times a day. The novel emphasizes moments of pause and self reflection. Marion often revisits his past, doctors reflect after surgeries, and characters process loss and transformation. How does this relate to the Vedic practice of Trikal Sandhya? Jai Gurudev, yes. Trikal Sandhya is the discipline of pausing for prayer and reflection three times a day, morning, noon, and evening, just as a surgeon reviews each case before and after surgery. Sandhya practices allows one to reflect on the past, be present in the moment, and set intentions for the future. It aligns with the Ayurvedic circadian rhythms, synchronizing breath, body, and consciousness with nature's cycles. Marion often reflects on his childhood choices and losses, much like the Sandhya discipline of reviving karma. Shiva's deep focus in silence mirrors how meditative pauses brings clarity and insight. Gurudev often recommends morning meditation, midday silence, and evening gratitude, much like Trikal Sandhya. Daily Padma Sadhana or yoga practices help individuals reset their mind and energy. This teaches that self awareness is the key to making better choices. Agni Karyam, transforming energy through fire rituals. The theme of purification through surgery, emotional catharsis, and forgiveness is central to the novel. How does this connect to the concept of Agni Karyam or fire offerings? Fire represents transformation, purification, and energy renewal. Just as surgery removes disease and medicines cleanse the body, Agni Karyam burns impurities at a subtle level. A surgical operating room is sterilized with fire and heat. Similarly, homas cleanse negativity. When Marion loses a loved one, he experiences a burning grief, much like the sacred flames of transformation. The intense moments of physical suffering, surgery, pain, and healing parallel the symbolic burning away of past karmas through fire rituals. Regular homas and yagyas are conducted at the Art of Living ashram to restore balance in nature and individuals. Gurudev has said, fire transforms anything that enters it. Let your inner fire burn away anger, greed, and sorrow. This teaches that pain and suffering can be transformed into wisdom and strength. Upanayana and Gayatri Japa, the initiation into higher wisdom. The novel shows turning points, moments when characters step into new responsibilities, knowledge, and deeper awareness. How does this relate to Upanayana or sacred ceremony and Gayatri Japa? Upanayana is not just a ritual, it is a shift in awareness. Just as a medical student receives their first surgical responsibility, Upanayana signifies the moment a seeker is initiated into higher learning. Gayatri Japa, or chanting the Gayatri Mantra, enhances intelligence, focus, and inner clarity, essential qualities for both doctors and spiritual seekers. Marian's journey from being an observer to becoming a surgeon mirrors the Upanayana process of stepping into wisdom. When Shiva applies his unique understanding of medicine, it reflects the inner awakening of intuitive knowledge. Gurudev often emphasizes initiation into higher practices, whether through meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, or advanced spiritual disciplines. Many professionals, including scientists and doctors, practice Gayatri Japa to sharpen their intellect. This teaches that true learning begins when we take responsibility for knowledge. Sandhya Vandanam, the discipline of inner and outer purity. Many characters in the novel struggle with finding balance between duty and personal life, between healing others and healing themselves. How does Sandhya Vandanam help with this? Jagadeviya, Sandhya Vandanam is a daily discipline that aligns the body, breath, and mind with the natural cycles. Just as a doctor maintains hygiene to prevent infection, Sandhya Vandanam cleanses the subtle energies in it. It includes water purification, pranayama, and Gayatri chanting, removing both physical and mental toxins. Ghosh is a meticulous surgeon, follows a strict hygiene routine, much like the Vedic emphasis on purity before prayers. Marian, during moments of self doubt, finds clarity through reflection and ritual, akin to Sandhya Vandanam. Regular pranayama and mantra chanting create the same cleansing effect on the nervous system. Gurudev's teachings emphasize inner purity, clarity, and intention, along with outer discipline. Padma Sadhana and Shakti Kriya, healing through movement and breath. The novel depicts both physical and emotional healing. How does this relate to Padma Sadhana and Shakti Kriya? Healing is not just about medicine, it's about restoring energy balance. Padma Sadhana is a set of yoga postures, enhances flexibility, stability, and inner stillness. Shakti Kriya is advanced breathing techniques, unblocks deep seated stress. Shiva's intuitive bodily movements and dance mirror the way Shakti Kriya frees trapped energy. Marian's persistence through surgery mirrors the focus built through Padma Sadhana. Many doctors practice Padma Sadhana before surgeries to enhance precision and calmness. This teaches that body and breath are powerful tools for healing. Jayagurudev, if you had to summarize, how does Cutting for Stone reinforce Gurudev's teachings on health, spirituality, and human potential? The novel and Gurudev's wisdom both emphasize holistic healing. Medicine heals the body, meditation heals the mind, service heals the heart, and spirituality integrates all three. Marian learns that true healing is not just technical, it requires presence, love, and wisdom. This is exactly what Gurudev teaches. Health is not the absence of disease, it is a dynamic state of joy and enthusiasm. This conversation has unveiled profound layers of wisdom. Thank you, Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, yes, the healing convergence of medicine and spirituality. We have explored the deep connections between Cutting for Stone and Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji's wisdom. Let's now look at practical applications, how doctors, patients, and spiritual seekers integrate these teachings in their day to day lives. Can you share real world examples of how art of living techniques are helping in medical fields? Absolutely, many healthcare professionals incorporate breath work, meditation, and mantra chanting into their routines. Doctors practicing Sudarshan Kriya, surgeons, and physicians worldwide have reported that Sudarshan Kriya improves focus, reduces stress, and enhances decision making, which are critical in high pressure medical environments. A doctor at Stanford Medical School shared how practicing Sudarshan Kriya before surgeries helped him maintain steady hands and mental clarity. Mantra chanting in post surgery recovery. Studies have shown that Gayatri Mantra and Om chanting promote faster recovery in post operative patients. Some hospitals have started incorporating Vedic chanting into ICU recovery rooms to create a peaceful healing environment. Yoga and pranayama for cardiac patients. A research study in AIMS, New Delhi found that Bhastrika and Nadi Shodhan pranayama improved heart rate variability and blood pressure in cardiac patients. Regular Padma Sadhana practice helped the patients recovering from stroke and paralysis regain movement. Seva and emotional healing, just as in Cutting for Stone, where characters find meaning through service and caregiving. Many doctors and nurses who take Art of Living courses experience a deeper connection with their patients. In the Indian Army Medical Corps, doctors who practice daily meditation and seva report lower burnout levels. Jai Gurudev.